That's been going on and languishing, unfortunately, for more than 2 weeks. Because of that, I wrote President Obama on Friday a very clear but respectful letter. And I said, Mr. President, we appreciated you coming to Louisiana. We appreciated the clear commitment you made to act in a timely manner and do whatever it takes. But that commitment is now being broken because we cannot get, so far, a timely, clear answer from the Corps of Engineers and others on this emergency dredging Barrier Island plan. We need more boom deployment, but we need that land boom immediately to block oil from our marsh. And so I'm asking the President respectfully again, we need that immediate positive answer. I'll be following up again with Admiral Allen today, again with the leadership of the Corps, and working with the Corps and working with the state until we get that positive response. Thank you.
Senator Bingaman.
Senator Bingaman.
It's great to be here with my colleagues and with Secretary Napolitano and Secretary Salazar. I'm persuaded after the meetings we've had today and what we've been able to see that this is the nation's problem. It's not just Louisiana's problem, and the nation is pulling together and moving aggressively to solve it. And I'm persuaded that the President has the solving of this problem as his top priority, and that, of course, he's delegated these two secretaries to get that job done, and they're working night and day to get it done. So we're anxious to help in the U.S. Senate. I'm glad to be here to learn about it and continue with the effort to come to the aid of the Gulf region and of Louisiana. Thank you.
Senator Murkowski.
We had an opportunity to fly over the spill area before we came here to Port Fourchon, and I looked down at the ocean with great sadness, because your ocean, as warm and lovely as it is, looks just like my ocean up north, except my ocean's a little bit colder. But we experienced a similar tragedy just a little over 20 years ago. And it's a devastation that lives with you forever. And so to listen this afternoon to your fishermen, to your shrimpers, to your charter boatmen, to your oystermen, and to hear their fears and their concerns. Unfortunately, it's like deja vu all over again for those of us from Alaska. And if there's one thing that we learned from the tragedy of the Exxon Valdez, it's not to repeat the mistakes from history. It's not to treat the plaintiffs in that case, the fishermen and their families who waited decades for compensation from Exxon. We want to work together to make sure that this claims process works fairly and efficiently and in a manner as is promised. We need to make sure that those that are accountable, BP, are held accountable to the fullest extent. But it's going to take a commitment to make sure that the people of Louisiana and the fishermen and their families are not treated in a similar manner as we saw played out some 20 years ago. So know that we're committed to working with you so that the mistakes that were made in Alaska are not repeated here in the Gulf of Mexico.
Thank you. We are here to represent the Senate, particularly the Energy Committee and the Environment Committee, which will have a lot to do with overseeing this and making sure that the restoration continues effectively and that an incident like this does not happen again. We are here from a variety of states, including the largest coastal state in America and the smallest coastal state in America, in solidarity with the coastal economy and the coastal way of life of this part of Louisiana and the Gulf. And many of us are here because we know firsthand what a relentless and formidable advocate for Louisiana Mary Landrieu is in our caucus. And we want to make sure that we don't get in trouble with her, because she's a powerful advocate for Louisiana. And So looking forward, we want to make sure that the work continues. I think we've all been impressed by the unprecedented nature of the involvement of the administration in getting this done. More people, more boats, more action than ever before, but also the continuing need for further action and to bring this home to a point where the people of Louisiana can say the water is clear, the leak is capped, and we are made whole. So thank you all very much.
Thanks, Senator. Thank you. Well said, and we're happy to take questions. I just want to reiterate one more time. BP is the responsible party. We are going to make sure that BP does what is necessary. If we need to put more supervisors from the Coast Guard in the field to get it done, we've already said, yep, we're going to do that. Boom is an issue. We are dealing with that. Senator Vitter mentioned the issue about a special kind of dredging and boom at the Barrier Islands, as Admiral Allen, who will be the National Incident Commander, has already said. That is on an expedited review process. Looking at that, looking at whether there are some options that would be as effective or even more effective and less environmentally sensitive. But hopefully have some response, direct response on that within the next few days. So we move forward and understand, all understand, and have from the first day the urgency, the uniqueness of this situation, and the importance of holding BP responsible. Let's take a few questions. Clark, you want to lead that?
Thank you very much. Matthew Biggs from Reuters. You expressed some optimism about the top kill procedure. What makes you think that it's going to work, and how confident are you that it can work?
Look, Secretary Salazar was in Houston yesterday. I'll let him answer, but let me just say this. We hope it works, but we don't want to hope unrealistically. Our work in terms of preparation, cleanup, booming, skimming, manpower, all of that continues unabated until they get this well capped. If it happens this week, all the better. If it doesn't, we keep moving with the same or even greater levels of intensity. But Ken was just there.
We're always hopeful that this thing is going to get stopped, because until you stop the source of the pollution, it's difficult to contain the problem. What the president has directed is that the highest level of the federal government be involved in oversight, and so Secretary Chu canceled the trip to China. He is on his way to Houston. He is joined there by the directors and other personnel of all of the federal laboratories, the United States Geological Survey, so that we can be confident of this, and that is that the best science minds in the entire globe are focused on this issue and focused on stopping the pollution from flowing into the Gulf.
Secretary Napolitano, what do you say to the people of this state, 3 other states here? They hear you and other officials say the pressure's on BP, the government's on the job, you've got X number of people out here, but the bottom line is still the bottom line. The spew is still coming out of the ocean, and the governor behind you is showing you where oil is washing up on the beach. People of this area feel they don't see light at the end of the tunnel. What would you say to those people?
Look, I would say 30 some odd days in, I think frustration, anger, disappointment, I understand all of those things, but those feelings will need to be channeled in a way that recognizes that we are doing everything and will do everything we need to do to get BP to stop this leak, to clean this ocean, and to pay these claims. And we can say that BP is going to apply another method this week. They have some other things they're looking at behind that, and the best engineers in the world are working, overseeing that. We can say that the Coast Guard is on BP. There are more than 1,000 vessels on the sea right now dealing with this spill. We can say that over 1 million feet of boom have been deployed to the Gulf Coast, and more is on its way. We can say that we are talking directly with governors, with parish presidents, with others to say, look, we know we have stuff in the 17 staging areas that are around the Gulf. Let's make sure we get that last couple of 100 yards to get stuff to where it needs to be or can serve its highest and best use. We keep working. We're working the problem.
Secretary, two questions for Secretary Salazar. One is on the issuance of permits. Can you explain to us what the situation is with the federal government allowing additional permits for drilling in the Gulf? And secondly, BP has said on the issue of dispersants that it is going to continue to use Corexit, or wants to, despite the EPA's having said that it wants a different one. Where does that standoff stand at this point?
You know, the